Why, hello there.
Hey, Steve. Got a few others, I think, that are going to join us, so I will hold on for a few more minutes, and we can get started. Just going to give it a few more minutes to allow people to hop on. We're about to get started, I promise. Just waiting on 2 people to hop in here. One more, okay. Hey, Drew, Steve, and Julie, if you want to go ahead and unmute yourselves just so you're unmuted. No, I mean unmute yourselves, or hang on, that's right. There we go. Okay, there we go, perfect. Waiting on one more person. I'm sorry, I know they're coming. In the meantime, for everyone, if you have any questions for our guest, you can just put them in the chat box and I'll be sure to read them for them when we get there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started, actually. I'm Kyle Shepard, Media and Public Relations Manager, Louisville Zoo. We have some exciting news today, as you know. I sent the press release to you. So we have on our panel for interviewing today, Assistant Director of Conservation, Education, and Collections, Steve Taylor. Wave, Steve. We have our Associate Veterinarian, Dr. Julie Turbeast, with us as well. And the lead keeper at Glacier Run, Drew Cook, is with us. So they'll each have some things to say, and then we'll take questions for you, and we'll get those answered. I'd like to thank our sponsor, T-Mobile, who is sponsoring our vlogs. If you need additional video throughout that process and want to follow the journey, we have a vlog that airs on Saturdays on our website, louisvillezoo.org, of course. And it also airs on our Facebook channel, thanks to T-Mobile. Those are presented by T-Mobile. So don't forget to put your questions in the chat box. I am recording this. I will send it to you afterward as soon as it downloads. And I'm going to turn it over to Steve Taylor. So we will get started. Steve?
All right. Well, this is a big day for the Louisville Zoo. Thank you all for joining us. We're really glad to be able to share the news of the new gray seal pup that was born at 7:25 this morning. It's been a long journey. Gray seal is pregnant for about 340 days. So it's a long time, not as long as Fitz the elephant, but long enough. And so we're really thrilled. Back in the 70s and 80s, we had a very prolific pair of gray seals here at the zoo. Actually, gray seals were one of the original species when the zoo opened back in 1969. So we've had a long, rich history with our gray seals, and so we're really excited about the pup that was born today. Actually, the sire of the pup, male named Boone, is actually offspring of a pup that was born here back in the 80s. So it kind of, what goes around comes around, as they say. So I'm really excited, but I'm also really excited for the staff because none of the staff we have were back here in the 80s when we were producing pups. So I really enjoy seeing how excited they are about this new little one that we have. Unmute.
Would help if I unmuted. If that's all, Steve, we'll turn it over to our associate veterinarian, Dr. Julie Terbeast.
So yeah, we're really excited, as Steve said, to have this gray seal pup this morning. The birth went very smoothly with no complications, so we were very happy about that. We're delighted to see that Rona's maternal instincts appear to be very strong. She's paying attention to the pup. She's attentive. She's positioning herself to allow nursing, so the pup has nursed. The pup is vocalizing normally and appears to be healthy. So we're thrilled about all of those things. It's gone really well so far.
Excellent. Finally, our lead keeper at Glacier Run, Drew Cook.
Steve touched on this with relating to the staff. Everybody down here is super excited for the pup to be born. The day's finally arrived, so everybody is very grateful for that. We're super ecstatic to see how well Rona's done thus far. For a first-time mom, she's been phenomenal, been very attentive to the pup. It's been vocalizing a little bit early on this morning. Like Dr. Terbeast said, the pup has nursed successfully. So we couldn't be more happy with the way that the whole thing has come about this morning. It was very nice to see everything go as smoothly as it did.
Well, we have our first question. Paul Miles from 84 WHAS would like to know how significant the birth is within the species survival plan. So I'm going to let Steve answer that one.
Sure. So this is a very significant birth for us. There's only about a little over 20 animals that are in the population at the moment in AZA facilities. So every animal that we add is a very significant addition. And again, gray seals seem to be doing recovering along the the western Atlantic coast of the United States, the northwest Atlantic coast, and they seem to be doing better. But of course, having a population of gray seals to back up that wild population is extremely important. And so Rona's birth today adds to that and continues to add to our knowledge base of what we know about gray seals.
We have another question from 84 WHAS about the specifics. So we know that the pup was born at 7:25, but Julie, do you want to take this one about why we don't know the gender yet and why we don't know the weight and the length and all of those sort of birth stats?
Sure, yeah. We have not done a neonatal exam yet. We are giving Rona and her pup some time to bond and make sure that that bond is strong. So we're trying not to disrupt them at this time. As soon as we know that information, we'll share that with you. Or as soon as we get a visual to determine, the gender of the pup, we'll share that with you for sure.
And follow up with that, I'll have information about a naming contest and all that good stuff. So as we know the gender, I'll send a press release out. And as we know the details on the naming contest, I'll send those out as well. Obviously, we need to know the gender before we can figure that out. So those releases will be coming to you shortly. Anybody else have any questions? Hey, Steve, do you want to just touch base a little bit about the history again, a little more in detail?
Sure. So when the zoo opened back in 1969, we had a male and a female named Snoopy and Lucy. And they made history not only by producing 8 pups during their time here at the zoo, but we also had the very first set of documented twinning in a gray seal in a zoological institution. So we've had a long history with Gray Seal. We're very excited about that. Excited, of course, about having this pup. Now, the other thing is when you'll see the video, you get to see pictures. These pups are beautiful. They're born, they're about 35 pounds, and they're covered with this long white hair that's called a lanugo. And over the course of about 4 weeks, they go from 35 pounds to about 120 pounds. Imagine that, moms. And they lose all of that white hair. And by the time they're 4 weeks old, they're a miniature version of an adult. They look like adults. And then mom weans them at 4 weeks, and off she goes. And there you go.
Paul Miles was wanting to know if we would know the gender today or later, and we won't likely know it today, but we will be monitoring, and I will send a release out when we do know that gender, Paul. And then he had a follow-up question for Drew. He says, are you hoping for a Rona-related name?
As in the mom? You know, the naming, we do a lot of different ways that we name animals around here. The naming contest will, give way to allow people the opportunity to help select that, I'm sure. But, honestly, for me, as long as the pup is healthy, I really don't, I don't care what we name it. I don't care if it's a male or a female. As long as it's a healthy pup and mom and pup are doing good, that's the most important thing to me.
We don't have any other questions in the chat box right now. Oh wait, we've got one popping in. How important is this for the zoo during a difficult year? There we go. He was typing. So how important is this birth for us in this difficult year of 2020?
I think this is a great way for us to end 2020. It's been a difficult year. You're absolutely right. And to be able to see this cute little pup right at the very end of 2020 certainly, I think, gives us hope about what 2021 is going to bring. And it gets us excited about how we can move forward into next year.
Anybody else have any questions? Well, there is the inevitable question that Paul just asked about, are there any other pregnancies right now?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Well, just to reiterate, we did record this, and I will send it to everyone right after this. It has to download first, so give me a few minutes. I will send you follow-up material on the gender once we know that, and follow-up material about our naming contest once that falls into place with our sponsor, T-Mobile. And then, again, you've got some video from YouTube, which is the a little bonding video and then the birth video. A photograph I sent, and then also if you throughout the process, we've got a couple of videos already on our website from the vlog. If you want to take a look at those, it's including Steve and Dr. Trabiste, and then we will continue those. So those will be on Saturdays if you need additional information and want to follow the journey. That's there at louisvillezoo.org /sealpup. So I think that's it. If you have any follow-up questions, just send me an email and we'll take care of it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.